He lost everything chasing pleasure, but what happened next will change how you see money, faith, and forgiveness forever. Remember to like and subscribe for more God's Blueprint to Wealth videos. Have you ever messed up? I mean, really messed up. Made a choice you knew was wrong, but you did it anyway. And then, you had to live with the consequences. If you're nodding your head, you're not alone. We've all been there. There's a story, an ancient one, that talks about this very thing. It's a tale about making a huge mistake, hitting rock bottom, and then finding a way back. It's a story that has been told for thousands of years, in countless languages, around campfires and in grand cathedrals. It speaks to a fundamental human experience, the desire for a second chance. This story is famously known as the parable of the prodigal son. It's found in the Bible, in the book of Luke. Now before you tune out because of the word parable or Bible, hang with me for a minute. This isn't just an old religious text, it's a powerful narrative about family, failure, and forgiveness. It's about a young man who thought he knew better than his father. He wanted his freedom, and he wanted it now. So he took his inheritance early, left home, and chased after everything he thought would make him happy. It's a story that starts with rebellion and ends with redemption. The word prodigal itself is interesting. It means to spend money or resources freely and recklessly, to be wastefully extravagant. That perfectly describes the young man at the heart of our story. He took the wealth his father had worked a lifetime to build and squandered it all. He lived for the moment with no thought for tomorrow. He chased parties, fleeting friendships, and hollow pleasures. This story lays bare the anatomy of a bad decision, showing us how one choice can lead to a cascade of problems, each one worse than the last. It's a raw and honest look at the path to self-destruction. But here's the thing that makes this story so timeless. It doesn't just show us the fall. It shows us the return. It's not just about the son's mistakes, it's about the father's response. It's a story that holds a mirror up to our own lives. It asks us to consider our own choices, our own moments of wastefulness, whether with money, time, or relationships. And it offers a powerful message of hope. It suggests that no matter how far you've gone or how much you've lost, the road back home is always open. It's a story that promises that redemption is possible, even from the lowest of lows. Why does a 2,000-year-old story still matter today? Because its lessons are as real now as ever. We're surrounded by debt, ads, and the pressure to want more, often leaving us empty and disconnected. Like the prodigal son, we chase independence, thinking freedom means breaking away. But this story shows that even at rock bottom there's hope, grace, and a way back. The story begins not with a fight, but with a request, a calm yet earth-shattering demand. The younger son asks, "Father, give me my share." He sees home as a cage, rules as chains, and believes happiness lies far away. Remarkably, the father lets him go, granting freedom, even though it breaks his heart. After his father agreed, the younger son wasted no time. He gathered everything, cashed out completely, and left home behind. He wasn't just eager, he was desperate for a new life, burning his bridges as he went. In a distant country, he sought anonymity and freedom, leaving behind family, community, and his old identity for a life on his own terms. The son arrived in a distant country, eager and flush with cash. He squandered his wealth in wild living, lavish parties, reckless spending, and friends who loved his wallet more than him. He chased thrills, forgetting the values he was raised with, believing he was free. Yet, he was a slave to fleeting pleasures. The party couldn't last forever. The distant country's promise of freedom faded, revealing only emptiness. Just as his money ran out, disaster struck. A severe famine hit the land. Suddenly, the entire economy collapsed. Food became scarce and expensive. With no money, no friends, and no safety net, he was left utterly alone. The wild living that once felt so freeing now looked foolish. The people who praised him vanished. He was valued only for his wealth. He had nothing left, no savings, no assets, no one to turn to. The story simply says, he began to be in need. That phrase marks his fall from excess to desperate lack. For someone who'd never known want, this was a profound shock. He had traded security for a fantasy of freedom, and lost both. Now, he was a stranger in a strange land, broke, alone, and hungry. Starving, the son did what he'd never imagined. He begged for work. He was hired by a local to feed pigs, the lowest job for a Jewish man. Once a wealthy playboy, Now he was a beggar in a muddy field. The freedom he chased led to the most degrading servitude. His world shrank to a pigsty. No parties, no friends, just survival. He became a slave to hunger and regret. Only when stripped of everything did he see the truth. The pigsty became his classroom, forcing him to face his choices. His physical hunger mirrored a deeper spiritual emptiness. He had fed his appetites but starved his soul, and now paid the price. In the pigsty, he hit rock bottom. He longed to eat the pig's food, but no one gave him anything. Even the carob pods looked good. His hunger was that intense. He was denied even that, left utterly alone and desperate. All his plans had failed. His friends and wealth were gone. The illusion of control shattered, leaving only painful truth. But in this mud and filth, the story pivots. The text says, when he came to his senses, hitting bottom wasn't the end, it was the beginning of awakening. For the first time, he saw himself, his choices, and his father clearly. The lowest point became the foundation for his journey home. That moment of clarity sparked hope. He remembered even his father's servants had food to spare. He decided to return home, rehearsing a humble confession. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you." He expected nothing but a servant's life. No rights, no privileges. This was genuine repentance, not a ploy. So, he got up and went to his father. The journey was long, each step a battle against shame and fear. Weak, hungry, and in rags, he pressed on. This was more than a physical journey, it was a pilgrimage of repentance. He walked away from the pigsty toward the hope of mercy. The focus shifts to the father. While the son was still far off, the father saw him. He'd been watching, waiting, hoping. His heart was filled with compassion, not anger. The father ran to his son, breaking all social conventions. He didn't wait for an apology or explanation. He embraced and kissed his son before a word was spoken. The father's love overrode any sense of justice or pride. His actions spoke louder than words. "You are welcome, you are loved, you are home." The son's fears of rejection were silenced by grace. The father's embrace came before the confession. This was forgiveness and restoration, freely given. The father's love was greater than the son's failure. Home was not lost, it was waiting all along. The son tries to confess, but the father interrupts, embracing him with unconditional love. He orders, "Bring the best robe, a ring, and sandals." The son's shame is covered, his status restored. The father calls for a feast, celebrating his son's return with the whole community. "This son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The homecoming is complete. The prodigal son went to a distant country to escape his father's presence. Today, that distant country isn't always a physical place. You don't need to pack a bag and buy a plane ticket to run away from your responsibilities or your values. For many of us, the distant country is right here in our pocket or on our desk. It's the endless scroll on social media where we see curated lives of constant vacation and luxury. It's the one-click checkout on Amazon, promising instant gratification delivered right to our door. This digital world can feel like a country all its own, with its own rules and its own definition of a good life. In this modern distant country, we are constantly told that we aren't enough. We are encouraged to chase trends, to acquire the next gadget, and to present a perfect image of success to the world. Just like the son, we can start to believe that our identity is tied to what we have, not who we are. We might squander our time, a resource more precious than money, on digital distractions that leave us feeling empty. We can waste our emotional energy comparing ourselves to others, feeling a constant pressure to keep up. This chase for a fleeting, digital version of happiness is a form of wild living that can be just as destructive as the son's. The anonymity the son sought is also readily available online. People create alternate personas, say things they would never say in person, and engage in behaviors that are disconnected from their real-world values. It's a place where we can reinvent ourselves, but often not for the better. We can drift away from our real-life families and communities, preferring the shallow connections of online friends who don't truly know us. We leave behind the solid ground of our heritage and faith for the shifting sands of online trends and fleeting outrage, becoming spiritually and relationally lost without ever leaving our living room. This digital distant country promises freedom, but often delivers a new kind of bondage. It's the bondage of comparison, the addiction to validation through likes and shares, and the anxiety of missing out. We take the blessings we've been given, our time, our talents, our resources, and we can squander them in this pursuit of a life that isn't real. The story warns us that chasing this illusion, whether in an ancient foreign land or on a modern glowing screen, is a path that leads away from true security and purpose. It's a journey that promises everything but can leave you with nothing. The story tells of a severe famine that hit just as the son's money ran out. In our world today, the famine often looks like crippling debt. Credit card statements, student loan bills, car payments, and mortgages can feel like a famine that has descended upon our personal economy. We live on more than we make, using future earnings to pay for today's desires. This is the modern equivalent of squandering an inheritance. We spend money we don't have on a lifestyle we can't sustain, and eventually the bills come due. The party of easy credit ends, and we find ourselves in severe need. When this financial famine hits, we can experience a profound sense of isolation. Just as the son's friends disappeared when his money was gone. The sense of status and success that debt can provide evaporates. The nice car doesn't feel so great when you're worried about repossession. The big house feels like a prison when you're facing foreclosure. The stress of it all can push us away from our loved ones. We feel shame and embarrassment, so we hide our struggles. We become alone with our spreadsheets and our anxieties, just as the son was alone in the pigsty, feeling like no one could possibly understand or help. This desperation can lead us to take jobs we hate or make compromises that go against our character just to make ends meet. This is the modern version of feeding the pigs. We might work punishing hours in a soul-crushing job, sacrificing our health and our family time. We might feel stuck, serving a master called minimum monthly payment. It's a degrading experience that strips away our dignity and hope. We can get so hungry for a solution that we are tempted by get-rich-quick schemes or risky financial moves, the equivalent of longing for the pig's food because we see no other way out. The despair that comes with this modern famine is not just financial, it's spiritual. It's a feeling of being trapped with no way out. The constant worry erodes our peace and can damage our faith. We wonder where God is in the mess we've created. We feel unworthy and forgotten. This rock-bottom moment, however, serves the same purpose it did for the prodigal son. It forces us to stop, to look at the disastrous consequences of our choices, and to finally come to our senses. It's in the quiet desperation of this self-made famine that we can finally see the need to turn around and find a new way forward. While the prodigal son gets the spotlight, the older brother's story matters too. He stayed home, followed the rules, but grew bitter when grace was shown to his brother. His heart was distant, focused on fairness and what he deserved, missing the joy of the Father's love. The Father invites us all to join the celebration of grace, not stand outside judging it. The first step to recovery is coming to your senses, stopping, being brutally honest, and admitting your choices led you here. Look in the mirror and ask, how did I get here? Remember what a better life looks like: peace, stability, purpose. Start with humility. Make a plan, then take that first step. That first step, taken honestly, is the beginning of your journey home. The journey home requires a map. For financial recovery, that map is a budget, a plan for your money. Track your income and expenses, then make intentional choices. Spiritually, return to God with a simple, honest prayer. Accept His grace. He's ready to restore and celebrate you. Take these steps, and you'll find your way back home. The story of the prodigal son is ancient, but it feels like it was written for us today. It's about getting lost and being found. The heart of the story isn't failure, but the Father's radical, unconditional love. No matter how far you've gone, the door is open. The journey home starts with a single step. The Father is waiting with open arms, ready to welcome you home. The financial teachings shared on this channel are based on biblical principles and are intended for educational and spiritual guidance only. They do not constitute professional, financial, legal, or investment advice. Always seek counsel from a licensed financial advisor or qualified professional for your personal financial decisions. We encourage prayer, discernment, and wise stewardship in all matters related to money and faith.